That's it. The cheaters have won. XDefiant now has 1 foot in the grave, and it's not looking too good. Hey guys, Nightfall here, and just last night I was sent a few clips of a couple people cheating on Twitter, and one in particular stood out. More on that in a moment. But to put the icing on the cake, I woke up today and saw on Twitter that someone got banned for breaking the game's code of conduct, and all of the replies were just people defending them saying they don't cheat and this has to be a mistake. I don't know this person personally, and I've never played with them or against them that I know of. They claim to be a Ubisoft partner in their tweet, but people use that term and maybe I don't know what it means or they don't. But to be a partner to me means you would have had to have applied and been accepted to their creators program, which means you should have a creator code in the game. I do not see this dude's code in here anywhere, so I don't know what his definition of partner is, but that's neither here nor there. The rest of this tweet is just typical defense stuff, but people don't realize that just because you play with or against a developer doesn't mean you aren't cheating or breaking any rules or anything. Just means you were smart enough to not do it in that game for them to see, especially if you knew you were playing with a developer at the time. So at this point, with the amount of comments on this thread, I started to believe that maybe he was innocent, but he also links his Twitch VODs as well. So before I explain what I found in my digging there, you have to understand that the message he got, which you can see now on screen, could mean a lot of things. This is just a cookie cutter response message that they send when someone gets banned. It doesn't mean that he was necessarily cheating like most people would think of cheating. It could mean he was toxic too many times or a few other things. Also, in my scrolling through the thread, he elaborates on a couple things towards the end of this tweet that I didn't want to mention until we got to this part. So let's take a look at his clarification on that here. He admits to changing files in the game for lowering graphics settings to get higher FPS and turning off fog because all the comp players did it. Well, if the comp players jumped off a bridge because they said it was going to raise their reaction times and get better at the game, would you do it? I've been over this so many times. The comp players have their little clique and no one's going to face punishment for anything they do, regardless if it breaks TOS or not, because they all have a group chat, Aches is aware of everything that they're doing, and they just do not care. However, changing files on the game in any way, especially removing fog, is 100% against TOS and code of conduct. This is giving you an unfair advantage, and if it was meant to be done, they would have an option in the game, in the settings, for you to turn it off. The other thing he admits to is using a VPN to essentially spoof his location to another region to, quote, avoid the cheaters, unquote. And now this is all the same excuse stuff the comp players do when they, oh, well, I only smurf because of this. The reason behind why you're doing something doesn't change the fact that it's still against terms of service, and you shouldn't be doing it. Overall, these seem like very minimal infractions to outright ban someone's account completely. So I kind of felt bad for the guy because they are shady for doing this, but not dealing with the players actually cheating, which again, we'll talk about in just a moment. But I wanted to watch for myself. I wanted to make sure he wasn't cheating or being toxic in game chat or something, or just anything obvious. So I clicked the link that he put in his tweet, got to his Twitch page to find that he was currently live playing XDefiant. Now the tweet was from 5 hours ago at the time that I clicked this, so I thought maybe they worked quick and unbanned him, maybe it was a mistake. But no, he was playing on a Smurf account, which under the circumstances is still wrong, but his account level was 80 plus, which means he's had this account for a while and has been playing on it for some time now, which, as you all know, I do not condone, and having a Smurf account is against their TOS. Just anything having multiple accounts is breaking that rule. But then playing on a new account to avoid the ban on the old one is just more blatant, and under that same section, breaking TOS. You cannot have multiple accounts for any reason. So now my question is, what was the real reason he was banned for? I would love for them to actually be taking steps to ban people who try to smurf, but if they knew he was smurfing, they would have banned both of his accounts. So he was clearly banned for something else, but is now continuing to break TOS by playing on another account. Remember when the comp players tried to tell us that there aren't that many smurfs? I can almost guarantee you they're way more than you think. So whatever the reason he was banned for on his main account, even if it's inaccurate, just for smurfing, I think he deserves to be banned either way. That's just my opinion and also based on the terms of service for Ubisoft and the game. But you know who isn't banned? Cheaters. Straight up wall hacking, aimbotting, speedrunning cheaters. In just a moment, you'll see 3 clips of cheaters who will be added to our wall of shame, which is a good reminder that that's still a thing. And if you want to send me more clips of cheaters to add to it, by all means tag or DM me on Twitter, join our Discord, however you need to get them to me, just do it. So cheater number 1 here, Optic PP Sharp. I know, what a name. Just going around headshotting everyone, zooming all over the map like he's Lightning McQueen or something. And then you could see the same thing here on cheater number 2, whose name is Movement for Fun. Who would have thought that a guy with name Movement for Fun was cheating? Doing the same things though, headshotting everyone, speedrunning all over the map, just blatantly cheating for everyone to see. And then we have the one that caught my eye, a repeat offender, who some of you may recognize from an older video that I put out. He used to go by the name Femboy Holes, but now he's under disguise as Femboy Holes. It's pathetic, really, both on their part and the game's part. Like, how? Just how do these people play for as long as they do without being banned already? Really think they need to introduce stat bans where if certain stats exceed certain thresholds, the account is flagged for immediate manual review by a living, breathing human being, and then hopefully banned shortly thereafter. You're never going to catch all of the cheaters that load up the game and be proactive or preventative in all your anti-cheat endeavors. You need to be reactive. But in order to be reactive, you need better systems in place aside from skimming through the thousands upon thousands of player reports that I'm sure come in daily, most of which aren't even legit, just someone mad that they lost. Inevitably, they'll end up being banned at some point or another. Just not sure why people continue to cheat like this. So if you know, someone please tell me, what do people get out of doing this? Not once, but 2 or more times on the same game. Do they genuinely get joy out of ruining the game for others? Is this their idea of making the game fun? Because that's some mental shit they need to get in check or see a therapist about. But let me know if you've run into any cheaters recently. Does it feel more frequent than it ever has? And do you think anything can be done about it? And I'll catch you in the next one.